What's going on, YouTube family? It's your boy Mace, back with another video. I'm gonna start off by saying that I know it's been a while. My last post was about a week and a half ago, and that's the longest duration of time in between posts that I've made since I started the channel. Nonetheless, I do appreciate the support in the last video. Todd McShay, the last I looked at it, 40,000 views, man. And for a small channel like myself, just getting going, like, that's enough motivation in itself long term to keep this thing moving. So I do appreciate that. And with that said, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to this channel, man. The road to 1K, that's where I'm at this moment. And also liking the video, it really does wonders. I used to hear that all the time from YouTubers and whatnot, but now doing it myself, I do see how the analytics work. So I deeply appreciate that. And now for today, we're going to continue the series for my own personal positional rankings. Today, we're looking at the tight ends, so we're going to go 5-1 and look at my top 5 tight ends for the 23 draft class. So without further ado, man, let's get to it. And if you're new to the channel, the way we rock with this, we start with number 5 and we're going to work our way up to my number 1 ranked guy. So at number 5, we have tight end Sam LaPorta, senior out of Iowa, 6'4", 249 pounds is what he's currently listed at. This year in 2022, LaPorta had 58 catches for 657 yards, 1 score. What can I say about LaPorta, man? He's a get-it-done type of guy. I really see him with a high floor at the next level. All tight ends that I've looked at in this class. A lot of snaps, a lot of experience, very productive at a pretty young age as well. I like that. And also in 2021, he led all the Big Ten tight ends in catches and catches of 15-plus yards. So I really like LaPorta. I'm interested to see what he runs at the combine and just other tests and measures, how he looks. But I do see LaPorta, as I mentioned earlier, being a very good starter in the NFL for years to come with his safe floor and his reliability. Next up at number 4, my number 4 tight end is Luke Musgrave, senior out of Oregon State. So Luke Musgrave could potentially have been higher, but earlier this year, he suffered a knee injury against Fresno State, and unfortunately, that was it for him. But man, the little bit of film I was able to capture, I really like this guy. You know, to this season, only 11 catches, 169 yards, got in the end zone once. But man, he's an excellent athlete. Like, I think he might be the most athletic tight end in this class. And then he's really long, lanky. Assuming his recovery's all good and he's able to get back to 100%, he's going to be a mismatch nightmare. Too quick for the linebackers, too long and athletic for the DBs. He's honestly this tight end's class boom or bust prospect. That's what makes him very intriguing, and I am anxious to see how early he goes in the draft. Not a lot of experience, not a lot of tape, but he could definitely be the best tight end when we're looking 6, 7, 8 years from now. At number 3, we have my favorite tight end in the class, honestly. Like, he's different. He kind of reminds me of Zion Williamson in basketball because there's not too many 6'6", 285-pound forwards flying around 40-plus inches in the air. And you just don't see with Darnell Washington being, he's listed anywhere 6'7", 275, 280. The number 1 tight end from his class a few years back. He's just so intriguing, man. Like, his size alone, he just pops out on the TV screen. This year, 26 catches, 477 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And, of course, that was prior to the bowl games that we have now, the college football playoffs. But he's very powerful. I mean, he can catch the ball. He's the best blocker, hands down, in the class. Like, you could make a remix highlight tape just on his blocks alone at the tight end position. Very athletic for 280 pounds. With that big body, he can catch in traffic. I mean, 3rd and 8, if I'm a quarterback, I'd feel really comfortable throwing in a tight window to Darnell Washington. Many times he can be left alone with a rushing outside linebacker or defensive end, and he can hold his own. And scouts are going to love that as well. So I really think that he has the potential to be the best tight end in his class. because of the offense that he played in and just Georgia's tight end U right now. So, of course, his stats are a little misleading as far as how good he is, but I really feel if he puts it all together, this is the number one tight end from this class. At number 2, we have Dalton Kincaid out of Utah, 6'3", 240 pounds. I honestly went back and forth, maybe 3 or 4 times. I just had to keep rewatching the film on Dalton and Darnell Washington. And Kincaid, man, I have to put him at number 2. He's just too productive, and he's really good. And I think he has the play style that's going to translate to the next level. It's not always about who's the better college player. You're projecting for the pros. But man, 70 catches, 890 yards, and 8 touchdowns. He started at San Diego State, transferred to Utah after 2019. Ever since then, man, I mean, he's just taken off. He's very smooth, uses his body very well. He can shield defenders. He can make the contested catches. When you match him up against a DB, it's a mismatch at 240 pounds. Could gain a little bit of size if he wants to be on the field when teams are generally going to run block at the next level. But, man, as far as catching the ball, if you love fantasy, PPR, I think in 2-3 years he's going to be one of those target hogs at the tight end position, which we only have a few in the NFL, by the way. But man, his spectacular catch rating may be the highest in this class. He's fun to watch. He's a solid route runner. He's really good. He's the real deal. I mean, the compliments are endless for Dalton Kincaid, and ultimately, generally, when it's close, I go for the younger guy, which is Darnell Washington at 21 years old. Dalton Kincaid is 23 years old right now, but nonetheless, I do feel that he's the second best tight end in this class right now, and I think he'll be the second best in this class moving forward. And my number 1 tight end in the 23 class, and if you've watched my videos before, you already know who I'm going to say. I've talked about this individual probably 4 or 5 times at this point. He's the blue chip. He's going to be the guy that I could see making an impact right away as a rookie. His nickname is Baby Gronk, and that is tight end Michael Mayer out of Notre Dame. True junior. I mean, what can I say? His nickname, like I said, is Baby Gronk. So with that, you got to be a baller, right? He's listed at 6'4", anywhere from 255, 265, depending on what site you're looking at. 67 catches, 809 yards, 9 touchdowns. Had an explosive sophomore year. Would have been the number 1 tight end in the 2022 class. Of all the tight ends, I actually expect him to have a pretty solid rookie year. Like, to come out the gate, it wouldn't surprise me if he reaches 50, 60 catches in his rookie year, which you don't really see too much from rookie tight ends. The body control of a wide receiver. He looks like a wide receiver when he's catching the ball at its highest point. He can run after the catch. I've seen him get dinged, maybe not being the most athletic tight end, but I think he's pretty athletic enough. Like, he's not slow by any stretch. I think he'll run faster than a 4.75, 4.7, which at his size, 265 pounds, if that's really where he's at, I mean, that's plenty fast when you break it down into what's size-adjusted speed. So Michael Mayer, hands down, he's pretty much the consensus number 1 tight end. If you follow college football, you already knew my number 1 tight end was going to be Michael Mayer. And he probably will be the only tight end drafted in the first round as well, which really speaks to the level that the scouts and GM view him. So that's why Michael Mayer is my number 1 tight end for 2023. There you have it. These are my top 5 tight ends. I actually like them all. It's a much deeper class than it was in 2022. I'm interested in seeing the Senior Bowl. A lot of these guys are seniors outside of Michael Mayer and Darnell Washington. And then obviously Luke Musgrave most likely won't be participating in anything. But as I mentioned earlier in the video, I am going to be continuing the series. We're going to probably look at the O-line next. and then transition over to the defense. It's not all about fantasy players, you know? So be on the lookout for that. Took a little break, but now I'm back full swing. We're on the race to 1K subscribers. I need your guys' help for that. If you haven't already subscribed, I deeply appreciate it. If you liked the video and made it to this point, definitely go ahead and smash the like button. But with all that said, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. This is Mace. Hope y'all have a good one, and I'm out of here. Sheep.